Hi, everyone, and welcome to the sharing group, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about our next guest today. Today's lesson of A Course in Miracles is lesson 97, which states, I am spirit. I am spirit. A direct and powerful lesson to match the energy of our powerful guest, y'all. Certified personal trainer, fitness, nutrition, and health coach, and motivational speaker, Dontae Thomas, known as Coach Tae in the fitness world, is here to demonstrate that sometimes a spiritually transformative experience can simply be a decision to change our thoughts and therefore change our lives. Dontae, we are so very excited to have you on the show with us today uh, to
Thank you, Loretta.
share your journey.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. This is a blessing.
Yes, it really, really is. So excited to have you on. So start wherever you think is most appropriate to share
Uh,
your journey with us.
so I start. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see.
Okay.
First, like Loretta said, I'm Dontae Thomas. She named everything. That was so perfect. I don't got to repeat that. I think, but then she broke that down. So, Dontae Thomas from Trenton, New Jersey. Wilbur section area. Our Trenton is broken down by sections, so like where we grew up at, things like that. So I grew up in the Wilbur section area, Trenton, New Jersey. Attended Trenton High School. Uh, Played basketball, football, but ended up basketball became my thing. My thing. I got real good at it. I'm real good at basketball. Playing it. Younger years, not really knowing what to do with it, but just
Mhm.
having fun with it because we was outside back then. You had to be outside. Your parents would kick you out of the house back then. In them times, it wasn't no sitting in the house.
That's fact.
All day just laying around or playing a game or something. So it was like you got to get out of this house. So always out, always in the community playing basketball. Me and my friends, the older guys in the community. So always on the court, either from the basketball field to the football field to baseball, whatever. We was doing something. So during my journey, got good when Trent High. Went to a freshman year, 1996, freshman year at Trent High School. Played freshman, then they waved me up to JV too. So I played freshman and JV my ninth grade year. So I played both. So 10th grade year, go try out, for varsity now, the varsity years, and then end up making the team. I was good. I was good. Ended up making the varsity team. Started from sophomore year till I graduated school. Now during that thing, it's like at this time is not knowing how important education was, right? Your parent could
Mm,
tell you and say go to school, get education, this and that, but not knowing how important it was at that time for me per se
mhm,
personally. I had mom and dad in the household, two good parents, worked hard, made sure
mhm,
I ain't get in no trouble. They gave me the things I needed, right? Gave me my wants. So it was not a lack in none of them areas.
mhm.
Grew up in a crime infested environment, right, where you see crime goes on daily when you walk out your door, all that. So all that it says, going through high school, I didn't take school as serious as I should have took it at them times, but end up graduating. But when I graduated, it was basically like clueless. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got a high school diploma, and that's what's really to satisfy my parents. I would say at the time, that
Yeah.
was coming up from where from the parents always love to say, "Long I got you to graduate, I did my job." It was like, long as I keep you on that right track until you're an adult, you got to make your own decisions. Then, but
Mhm.
I did my job, so my parents were so proud of that, right?
Yeah.
Me graduating, they seeing it, me playing sports, right, being all this, doing so good, traveling a lot of places, playing it. So they at every game, they wouldn't miss a game. My dad would work day long days and still come drive me to a 2 hour game
Mhm.
right after we get off work. Make sure the family goes. So but graduating, once I graduated, it was like no clue what's next, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't do the SATs, really because I wasn't into, school that much.
Yeah.
Tried Mercer County for a semester because basketball. So they coaches reached out to me because of playing basketball to try Mercer County. Went for a semester, but I want to say I wasn't the school kid. I wasn't that kid that was prepped and prepared to
Yeah.
go on college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In community college, I wasn't that wasn't me. It wasn't in my life. But then just finding myself idle time, always outside, right? Always outside. And that idle time, is a double playground that they like to call it. The old saying is like it's the devil's playground because idle time, right? You had nothing to do. What else is
Yeah.
happening? So it's a bunch of us out there to say it's probably about me and my guys who I grew up with. It's probably about 15 to 20 of us that hung together so much that every day and then one time we just saw something happen in our neighborhood where the feds, the FBI had did a sweep in our neighborhood. This probably like 1997, 98, somewhere around in 99, somewhere along them lines. All our older guys that was older than us that was into the game out there, right? Getting some
Yeah.
money. And so around 2000, once I graduated, idle time out there now, we seeing it out here, people walking up like, who got it, who got it? And we like, you know what I mean? Then one day we just like, yo, we got to have it. You know what I mean? So we jumped in and started trying it. Started with like $500, man, right? Trying it. But at this time, I was actually had got a job for the state too, though. So I was working the state because my idea was like, okay, if I jump in this game, let me make sure I keep a job because I see everybody else who was for me and some of the people around me, young friends that didn't graduate school, whatever, but they stayed outside all day long. They
Yeah.
never had a job, right? They never did some of the productive things that you look like you should move in society. So I
Hmm.
got, okay, let me get a job, right? Let me get a job fresh out, got a couple connections. But by then, I'm already fully deep into the streets, but nobody really knows it, right? I'm a little quiet, I'm a little laid back. I wasn't as flamboyant as everybody else, as my friends around me, things of that nature. But we had it, so I wasn't like the slick talker when we was out. My friends did that, like my brothers, closest ones. They was more the slick talkers. I was more the I'm gonna figure out how we gonna get some money, right? How I'm be
So,
able to
so to backtrack real quick,
uh,
you said the FBI did a sweep and got
yeah,
all kind of the older generation
yeah,
off the streets who were
yeah,
selling. And
yeah.
then once the users were coming around, like
Coming
who's
around.
selling
Yeah,
now,
yeah. Who got yeah?
y'all
So
started looking at each other
oh,
like we
like,
making
oh,
real
it's a lot
money.
of money missing, right? And we
Yeah,
out here, so we like, yo, we out here,
yeah,
right? We out here. So no, we might as well go ahead and get it, right? So
yeah.
that happened, and then one time when I got into the game, so probably like 1, 2 months later, or something, I had like $10,000 stashed in my sister's drawer in her room. I put it in there one day. They younger than me. I'm the oldest sibling, so put it in my sister's drawer one day, hide it. Like, you know what I mean? Thinking I'm keeping it away. My mom do laundry one day, my sister laundry, and find it in her drawer. The money comes to me like, oh, what the heck is going on here with this? My dad come in like, look, you grown, right? We can't tell you what to do. My dad like, listen, I can't tell you what to do now, man. You grown.
Hmm.
If you make this decision, man, just be a man when something happens. Own up to your consequences. He said, when it
Hmm.
happens, stand on it as a man. He said,
Hmm.
don't take nobody else down with you. You see what happened? No, just happened with somebody told on all them. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, be a man. If you feel you want to play this game, he said, because I can't tell you what to do now. He's like, you
Hmm.
grown, but you still gonna do what you want to do. He felt me. He just like, yo, just make sure our home's safe. Make sure things
Yeah.
ain't, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Make sure it
Yeah.
don't come home.
Yeah.
Basically, like, yo,
Yeah.
make sure it don't come home. So, I took heed to all that, soaked it up, and I was intrigued by the lifestyle. It wasn't so much of doing it because I ain't looking at harm because we at that point in my life I'm thinking that they doing it anyway,
Hmm.
right? I'm not forcing
Hmm.
them to buy this from me. I'm not threatening them. I'm not. It's nothing like I don't feel like I'm tearing down my community. So I'm like somebody gonna do it. So I'm already in it. So I'm looking at like okay. So now from that point we just get bigger. Like we take over the whole like. So it becomes like our movement. You know what I mean? We just and seeing so much money. Then that 19, when you see $100,000 and it's in a shoebox, and then you lose $100,000, then you get the money back. It was just like a roller coaster ride again. Then you could go to a store and buy what you want when you want, right then and there, right? You don't gotta worry about when the next paycheck come in. You don't gotta worry about how my savings gonna look. You don't
Yeah.
gotta worry about none of that. So it started being more of a thrill, right? It started being more of a fascination of a high. So
Hmm.
it started being a high of the of money, right? The money, the clothes, the cars, the jewelry, the girls, everything that come with this game was a high. And I had my daughter when I was 19. So once I had my daughter, it was really like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get her whatever she want. When I ain't thinking about longevity, I ain't thinking about the police come, I ain't thinking about none of that ain't on my mind. right? They can't get me, they can't get us. We got this set up. We was good. We was strong. We wasn't reckless. I wasn't reckless, you know what I mean? So we was more about not the violence, we was more about money. Like we was into
Mm-hmm.
real money. So
Mm-hmm.
I moved out my mom, got my own little place, then end
Right.
up getting a house, stuff like that. My kid's mom at that time when my daughter was born. So and then it was like I just want to get my daughter everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking, young, immature, say
Yeah.
all this money. I'm like, what the heck, a little kid know about a mink coat, right? What she know about a mink coat that I'm buying her now? When I look at it, I start saying, "Dad, what does she know? She didn't even know the name of a mink,
Yeah.
right?"
Yeah.
So it was that part, the fun. So it was like no more of like the job was this my cover up. That was just like go to work. I look like the good citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in my job knows I'm really getting this type of money, that I'm into the streets doing this, right? They see me come to work every day. I'm going to work every day. So they not caught up thinking I'm this
Yeah.
persuasive guy in the streets, right? It's like I'm on track. I'm doing all the right things, right? In other people's eyes, right? The perception of that. And then I say moving up forward is like the money started causing problems inside the household. Like, right, not my house per se, but just saying my mom and them, like whatever, my dad started end up having things going on, like with drinking problem, things like that, or gambling. He started gambling. I'm definitely gambling a lot, stopped drinking, but gambling became his thing. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like they didn't depend on him, they depended on me, right? It's no more call your
Mm-hmm.
dad. But he raised me to be this type of man. But that really
Mm-hmm.
caused like kind of conflict between us, because now he feel his power is stripped away, right? As a man, right? As a man who
Mm-hmm.
groomed a man, though. You groomed a man to take care of his mom, take care of his family, make sure the home is good. No matter if you live over there, you see what I do this, I go to my mom's house. So he showed me the structure of
Mm-hmm.
taking care of home no matter what, right? Being that man. And when things was like hard for him, it was easy for me, right? Where I was the phone call was to me now. It wasn't to him per se. And then if he have a conversation with him, it was like, okay, well, don't worry, we just call Dante, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like slap in the face, right? That
Yeah.
I really didn't
Yeah.
pay attention to,
Yeah.
and I didn't really start paying attention to it until before my dad committed suicide. But before he
Oh,
committed suicide in 2005,
wow.
we had altercations because him and my mom, whatever him and my mom was going through, but me intervening in certain ways and stuff. And he's saying to me, like, it's because of you, we going through this, you know what I mean? Basically putting it on me.
Mm-hmm.
So once my dad killed himself, it was more of me taking the blame, right? Taking the blame, like this is my fault. So I started drinking even more heavy. I'm in the streets, I'm getting money, but the alcohol became the coping mechanism for me. It
Mm-hmm.
became my go-to. So that summer, right after doing all that, I caught a little charge in July 2005 or whatever the case may be. I caught one like 2003, a petty little charge. It was somebody else's, but end up being mine. You know what I mean? How it went down, but it was crazy. But in 2005, my dad passed in June 2005. I caught
Mm-hmm.
another charge in July 2005, like towards the end of July 2005. Paid the lawyer, all that stuff. It's petty, if it's small stuff. It wasn't really. So I'm still on my game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm stressed out to the max, but not talking to nobody, not letting
Mm-hmm.
nobody know what's going on. I'm covering it up through alcohol and all the money I'm getting, right? To keep the smile on my face, helping everybody. And I end up going to a program. I took a 6-month program. The lawyer paid the lawyer. He ended up just giving me a 6-month program. But when I say the mind ain't changed, in that program for 6 months, I was writing on pieces of paper how I'm gonna take a brick of cocaine and make a certain amount of money when I get out. Right? I kept saying I'm gonna do this much because I had left probably like $60,000 on the streets to my man and them. So it was like, okay, I'm cool. I left like 10,000 to my kid's mom, paid all the rent up to my time being gone, made sure all the bills was good, made sure nobody had no worries, left my mom some money, left for 6 months. So I covered all the orders. So it was like, I'm cool. I'm in a 6-month program, and I'm in a program where I'm wearing regular clothes. So I'm like eating regular food, paying to get food, paying the people who could go outside to bring me food in from the streets, getting people to drop food off up there, getting my mans in them to come see me to bring me money. Like, so it was just, I was still caught up in that lifestyle, and
Yeah.
really wasn't focused on fixing myself, right? And wasn't really into the higher power yet, like
Yeah.
of me knowing my higher power yet, and me knowing myself, who I was just as a person, right? Just not
Yeah.
my name, but who I was as a
Yeah.
person, the
Yes.
inside of me, who I was. So
Yeah.
come home, May 2006. May 2006. I came home from 6 month program, get back out, go talk to my mans and them. I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be able to chill for like a month, thinking like a month, 2 months before I really jump in. I got some money linking around. Come home, my man, like, yo, bro, man, things gonna low left, man. Man, we doing bad out here right now. We got four. I'm like, so how much y'all got? Give me real quick. They gave me $4,000. You feel
Mm,
me? Damn. Gave me the 4,000. I catch my man's in it. I'm like, look, bro, this is what we gotta do. I'm like, look, I'm gonna take this form. I'm about to go see my peoples to connect. I'm about to call him. Right, I'm gonna meet with him, tell him what it is, what it is. I know he's gonna hit me, right? Anyway, so I'm like, I'm gonna take him this. We're gonna be outside for 30 days. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the money back in 30 days, right? We're just gonna stay outside in 30 days tomorrow. You go home, you go shower, you see your girl for a minute, but you gotta get back out here, bro. Everything we're doing is in these apartment buildings on the street. We're like in and out. We're gonna have the parties in the hallways of the apartment buildings. Like we're gonna drink, we do this. And so for 30 days, after coming right back from a program for 30 days, I was back in the streets, right? Full throttle
wow.
for 30 days. And in 30 days we had made like $35,000 in 30 days. So I'm like, oh, I'm back. So now it's the turn back up time. Now I'm back full throttle, what I mean? I'm able to move and then it just growing it now. Now we just was on a mission. Like we was on a mission, man. And then things changed in 2007, man. 2007 is when the FBI came looking for us. They had raided. They didn't raid none of my places because I never served people out of my places. So we had learned that they had a body only warrant for me. So once we called the lawyers, they were like, "Yo, ain't no really we could do, but they got a sealed case on you." So most likely, like, "Yo, it's a probably body only." He said, "They ain't hit none of your houses yet." I'm like, "I ain't selling none of drugs out of my houses per se, but I had so many different places out my way that they didn't know what house I was in, what house I was
Mhm,
coming out. Because I go through one house, come out the back door another, come in through another one, come out the front of another one. So it was like playing a little circus. so,
mhm.
so, and during the end of this time, I ended up serving a guy that I never was served. It turns out to be my one of my brother's uncle who set us all up and set his nephew up.
Wow.
So, and it was a guy I would never serve. Really was not doing a lot of serving other people. I would just drop stuff off to my peoples and pick money up when I get off work,
Mhm,
stuff like that. So one night, every night we'd be out and everybody would pay for the night, the drinking, the food, this. So we out 3 in the morning, two. So we getting nice. And the one night he asked me, and I gave him my number. When I got home, I used to have burner phones. So when I got home, I had 10. Every time I said, if I get to 10 people, I gave my number, I throw the phone away. So I threw the phone away the first night that I gave him, right? A week ago by. We do this game. He telling me like, yo, your man, I need what he got. He talking about our man. He's like, yo, I need what he got. I know he getting it from you. I need what he got because so and so giving me all this BS. Man, I'm spending all this money with him. They ain't giving me that. I need that.
mm.
I'm nice. Get on my number again. This is the worst mistake of my life that I had, but this come from drinking. That's why today I don't drink and stuff, right? That
Yeah.
I get on my number, go home, it's 7 numbers in my call. And I wasn't thinking that I gave him my number. Well, I'm like, I don't be dealing with him like that. I don't never keep his number. But I kept the phone. I didn't throw the phone away. And I was too drunk. I laid in the car in front of my house for like 3, 4 hours. I was so drunk.
Mm.
Kept the phone. He called me the next day. I ended up serving him that day, August 23rd. I'll never forget it. August 23rd, 2007. I served him one time. I served him only like, I served him like 72 grams, but that's a big deal in the feds, right?
Yeah.
And so and I served him that on October 23rd, 2007. October, September 20 something or whatever, they raided my man in them crib. So me and my other man outside, and I'm outside that night when they raid. What's crazy is I see the lady cop on the corner parked in an unmarked car. Didn't know she was a lady. I send one of the smokers outside. We on the block drinking like 2, 3 in the morning. So I'm like, yo, bro, go down there and let Shorty know like this ain't safe out here this late, like before you know what I mean. So when he goes to the window, hit it, he telling her, she's like, no, I'm good. Show her badge and gun. He come back, he like, yo, that's the police. So I'm like, oh, I'm going home, bro. I'm out of here. Go home. By the time I make it to the crib, my man calling me like, yo, where you at? They ready, da, 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 da. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I just left from out there. I'm like, yo, I'm home, bro. He like, yo, I'm coming to pick you up right now. He come get me. We come down. They raiding on Chestnut, so we ride down Greenway. And we can see all the black trucks outside of the house where they raiding at. So he like, yo, bro, what we gonna do? I'm like, man, just jump on the highway. So we on the highway. We riding all night. We just ride. I'm like, look, bro, this is what we gotta do. I'm like, take me back to my crib. I'm going to kiss my daughter and son. You feel me? Hold them. If they come to get me, bro, that's where they gotta get me from, bro. So boom, they never hit none of the cribs for me. So now, boom, that September, then they October come, they hit another one of my young mans, caught him, caught two of them, boom.
Wow.
So his name was T Rock. They called me Tay Rock on the streets. So when they get him, they thinking he both of them. They think he T Rock and Tay Rock. You know what I mean? So more or less, he like, nah, I ain't Tay Rock. No, Tay Rock is, you get what I'm saying? So get who Tay Rock is now. So they like, so now they get a call from the jail. They like, yo, bro, they looking for you. I'm like, huh? Like, yo, they looking for you, man. I'm like, yo, I ain't running nowhere, but I'm gonna be. So end up buying a whole new car, right? I was working at, so we used to leave out 5 in the morning. So I would go to work 5 in the morning. That way, if they ever show up to the building, I ain't there. I would get the truck to come pick me up from a certain place. Get on, go to work. I'm working and everything. So I was doing that for three months. They came and got me December 11th,
Wow.
2007,
Wow.
14 days before Christmas. But it was a stressful moments. And
Wow.
when they got me, and they got me in the basement, because I was on drug court too at this time. So I was on drug court for the charge I had caught in 2005. I was on drug court. So when they got me, they took me to the basement. And like, so we finally got Tay Rock. They're like, yo, so we finally got who this really is. We've been hearing about you for a long time. Like, but we never had no picture, no face. We couldn't put a face to who this person supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's how we finally got you. They took me out, put me in a car because I was in the Supreme Court, but they had to take me to the federal courthouse now. So put me in a black Ford Explorer. And the first thing they said to me, like, like, you know, you can help yourself, right? You ain't even got to make it to the courthouse. You can help yourself, man. We know you probably know some things. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, you better get me to the courthouse. She's like, I ain't no. So when I get to the courthouse, and this blew my mind, get to the courthouse, I'm in a holding cell. My court time come up and go to court. The judge like, blah blah blah, whatever. You facing 10 to life. I'm like, whoa, 10 to life. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh, excuse me, John. She's like, nah, whatever. A lawyer will be to see you at the county jail because they do give you like a real lawyer. They give you a real
Mhm.
lawyer. They don't give you like a, uh, one of them lawyers that
Public
helps
defender.
public defender. Yeah, public
Yeah.
defender. They give you an actual lawyer, and I had a lawyer from out Princeton named James Murphy. Never forget the guy, right? He's cool, right? James Murphy from a Princeton law firm. So he comes see me. He like, yo, bro. He's like, man, whew, they trying to stick it to you, right? I'm like, bro, I don't get the 10 to life part. So he like, look, this the federal system. They go by guidelines. So anything over 50 grams of crack cocaine is 10 years to life automatically.
Mm.
Ooh. So I'm like, sheesh. So man, you know, cool. I never tell my mom now what's going on. Every time I call her, just let her know I'm in good spirit. Like I'm cool, mom. Everything fine. You know, I'm in good. Waiting
Yeah.
for court. Like yeah, I'm trying to get the less amount of time I could get. I'm not knowing it's not really like the state. So I keep talking to him. We going back and forth. Like, bro, you can't tell him I cop out to this 3 years. Like they ain't get me really with nothing. Because in the state, I would have really got a slap on the wrist for what they caught me.
Yeah.
They really didn't catch me with much or nothing. But the federal laws are different than state laws, right? So he like, bro, it don't work like that. Here you can't negotiate nothing. Here it is. So, and then on top of that, they end up trying to career criminal me. So they superseded my career criminal me. They gave me a career criminal charge. So they upped my points. So I'm like, man. So when they upped my points, it went to I was facing 262 months on the guideline range to 327 months on the guideline range. So if you add that up, it's like 20 something years to whatever
Wow.
almost. You know what I mean? So it's up there. So I'm like, oh, bro, what the heck? He like, yeah. Like, man, he said first they said they want you to tell because they said that you know a lot. And then they like, yo, you got them other charges. So I had two other charges from the state, but the state merged my charges into one and gave me the drug court. I got the lawyers to get and give me the drug court. So he like, yo. So I had to go back and forth with him. He trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, yo, bro. He like, have you ever been in prison? I'm like, man, I don't know what prison look like. I ain't never been in no prison. So he like, what? You ain't never been in no prison? For you? He said, you ain't been in prison longer than a year and a day? I said, man, I never been in a county jail longer than 5 days. I'm like, I don't know about no prison, bro. He like, oh, okay. He said, this is what we're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna put this motion in, this, and this. I'm gonna argue this. He said, we're gonna get this up. I had to get all my records. Like, he had to get my state case records, like everything like that, showing that
Mhm.
mad little things. So, and then now it's like it's reality. It's like, okay, I ain't leaving this joint. I'm gonna be here for a minute. This reality, right? Waiting on the time. So I'm reading books. I read get to like my third hood book in this joint. So I'm like, I'm going in it, and it's good, interesting too. But then something clicked that night, right? I get to the end of the book. It's like the fun, the game, the girls, the cars, the money, doing what you want to do, the fast life. Then it's like the FBI kicks in the doors, and now they like on the one on the run. One get caught, they give him 20 years. Another one they catch him, they give. So I'm like, oh, I've dropped the book. I said, please God, don't let me need another one of these books. I need some substance. I like
Mm,
my life. I understand this though. This story, I can tell this story the same way. You know what I mean? It might be a
mm,
little different, might be a little different angles, what I did, what they did, but I'm like, I can tell this story all right. This is my story. Like
mm.
it's part of me. So I'm like, God, man, please. So started reading the Bible. You know, that's the first thing a lot of people grab when they go in there. Like they click to something, either
Yeah,
Muslim or Bible. Somebody start talking to you about one of them or something, and
yeah,
so even when you first come in, they actually do you on the Bible or something. So usually you just take it just to take it because you need something to read for the moment. Because before you don't got no books, you don't got nothing until you
mm,
meet people and they start sending down books or stuff like that. But grabbed the Bible and started praying, and then really like this gonna be a journey right here. I'm like, man, I can't. And the county, I'm just telling myself like I can't leave here. Like I come in, like I just can't. Like this ain't my life. It's
yeah,
so started really working on myself in the county. Then reading, just reading the Bible a lot. But then man, going to Bible study, really soaking it up, trying to find me, doing a lot of
yeah.
writing. And then once I get sentenced, because I never told my mom but once I get sentenced in May 2008, when I got sentenced, and they end up giving me 120 months. So the lawyer go up, talk to the judge, and they whatever, because he done put the motion stuff in. He come back right 120 on the paper. So that's 10 years. So I look back to my mom. She don't know, but I smiled out like. So I was so happy for the 10 years because I knew the time to give, but she didn't know. So now once they talking in the courtroom and she hearing all the stuff they saying, she break down crying.
Mm,
Oh, I'm like, this too hard. This ain't even hard on me no more. It's about the pain that they going through now. My
yeah,
mom, my sisters, and them out there. I left two kids out there. My
yeah,
brother, like just everybody that depended on me. I just left them. And I hear the pain from my mom now. Like
yeah.
she can't even cope with what they saying, the numbers, because you can't add them up that fast. Somebody be like 262 months, 327 months. That you ain't adding that up that quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta process it. So get it. Then they finally come down like 120 months. So she like, well, 120 months. So my stepdad, like he had to tell her like, oh, that's 10 years. She like 10 years. He ain't do what da, da, da. So get back to the county. I make my first phone call to my mom, letting her know like, yo, I'm cool. She like, yo, that's a lot. I said, nah, mom, we good. And always what my mom used to say though is, we pray together, we stay together. She like, just know I'm here with you on this journey. You good. You know what I mean? You're gonna be
Yeah,
good. Your kids gonna be fine. Make sure I do everything I can do in my power to make sure they all right. The same way you treated them when you was out here, that's how I'm gonna do it. You
yeah,
know. So
yeah.
she did that. So now I mean she did that, stepped up, and then now when I get to prison, it just was more like me finding myself. Like I
Mm-hmm.
started working out just to release stress. Started
Mm-hmm.
working out was like to release stress. So like once I get down prison, like 2 weeks later, I work out with a group of guys. One of them older guys, so they probably I'm in my 20s at the time. I'm 25 when I get down prison. So once I get out, they older now, probably 40, 40 son. One they from Virginia, so you with everybody from all over in the Fed. So they from Virginia. I worked out with them in the day room, and it was like one of the worst days of my life. And they did simple things, simple stuff, and had me. I had to throw up. I run to the bathroom, spit up, throwing up. He come in there. He like, younger, you all right? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm cool. I catch y'all tomorrow, bro. I'm good for the day. He like, nah. He like, man, you got to come finish that. He said, man, you ain't. He said, you just accepted 120 months. That's pain. He said, that's the problems. He said, you got to find out how you gonna get over that. You feel what I'm saying? So he like, yo, you got to work through that. He said, for sure, on the streets, you ain't give up. He said, you ain't bow down on the streets. He said, and plus, you ain't give up when they were talking all them numbers because you wouldn't even be right here right now in front of us talking. We wouldn't be having this conversation. None of this. So go back. I finished the little sets, and from that day on, I told myself, I said, man, that ain't never happening again. So from there on the journey, I'm just in the weight rooms, right, working out on the basketball court, running suicide. I'm going crazy. I'm zoning, I'm stressed, I'm just there, but this is relieving me, right? Start reading
Yeah.
books. One night on the radio, I hear they mentioning about Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kawasaki, right? If I say the last name right, I don't know, but Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds like a good book when it's talking about poor people, right? Rich, what's the difference? I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think it's something I need to look at. Call home, like, mom, I need to tell my godmom, get me this, da 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 da. So I'm like, all right, I tell her. Though I still wrote my godmom a letter, like, send me this book. So she sent it. My mom, my godmom was there, they was my clutch. They was there on my whole journey, right? My
Mhm.
whole journey. So she sent me the book, and that right there started with the change, with the Bible, me finding out who I was, going to church, praying, you know, healing myself from me blaming myself for my dad death, right? Blaming myself for my kids
Mhm.
on the streets, blaming myself for me leaving my mom and them out there like that, right? So I started healing myself, really, like, to healing myself, and making a movement in the prison system of becoming different, because I
Mhm.
started actually doing everything I'm doing now today inside the prison, right?
Yeah.
So with that taking place, I moved to another side of the prison now. You're on one side when you first come in. So I was over there for like a month, 2 months, like 2 months. Then they moved me to a whole nother side of the prison. So this like starting over again. It's like going to a whole new community. So now you got to reestablish what you done build up over there,
Yeah.
right? Right? It's people from Trenton now. It's people from even on that side, but someone they were staying on that side. So they moved to a whole nother side. A couple people over there from Trenton. Go in, meet people. They give me what I need to start my journey until my stuff come. But then I'm finding my way to the gym. But now in the gym, it's so many people on the weight pal. You're talking about 200-300 people working out at one time, right?
Mhm.
You got to figure out how can you get weights, and the weights is limited. It's not like they only got 12 bars, right? They had 12
Mhm.
bars, I think it was the most, 12 to 15 bars. Then dumbbells was not that plentiful,
Right.
right? So now you got to figure out how you gonna get this stuff. So I used to have to wait back till 5 o'clock at night till everybody go eat. Once they call 5:30 chow, when people run out the gym because they went down there early, I used to have to go in then and then start trying to get my weights and stuff. So I started doing that, building up, working by myself. A couple people from Trent started doing it, so we started getting on a movement. Like, oh, everybody come down, gotta work out, bro, because we gotta be prepared. If something jump off, we gotta be prepared and on go. So
Yeah.
doing that, there's some of my roomies wanting to work out with me just because I'm consistent. I'm not saying I'm being a try. Just because I'm being consistent,
Yeah.
movement, the things I'm talking now, building other people up through this, right?
Yeah.
Ain't stressing like that no more. I'm really finding myself, really finding myself. So next thing you know, doing that probably by like 2010, I probably got 3 years in now. Now I'm really rocking in the jail. I got probably like 27 people working out with me. I'm controlling the weights. I get everything I want, right? I'm coming in. If it's 15 bars, I'm getting 7 to 8 of the bars. I'm getting all the dumbbells I need. Now everybody waiting for me to get weight from me, right? They like, oh, we need to buy. So I'm selling the bars to certain people. I'm making sure my Jersey people who from Jersey, they got the weights they need. So
Yeah.
pushing. And then one day a guy came named Lynch Hunt. He came from Raybrook, and he was from Jersey. Come on the way, probably like, damn, bro. He's like, you know what I mean? So when we start building, talking, he's like, yo, what's your plans when you go home? I'm like, go home. I'm like, man, listen, hey, man, I got 7.5 years left. I ain't thinking about no when I go home. I'm like, this is. He said, nah, listen, start preparing now, bro. You'll be good when you get out. You feel what I'm saying? That way you ain't gotta make that left turn and you come back. He said, yo,
Yeah.
you should. He said, if you get it and look into it, I uh I help you. I study what you know, help you, teach you to train and what things like that, how to actually train and stuff, do what you need to do. So I'm like, all right, I'll check into it, call my mom. We had phones, so we still was breaking the law a little bit in there. You know what I mean? So we had phones. So call my mom when I got the phone out, called her, like, mom, I need you to see about that, that, that. She said, all right, but before she even get to do it, I don't went on the phone and looked it up, see how much it costs and everything.
Mhm.
So it was probably like $900 the course was in itself. So I'm calling like, mom, I need you to get this course. It's gonna be da da da. She's like, boy, I ain't paying all that money for something you ain't gonna do. You ain't doing that when you get out. But she don't know I'm becoming somebody new.
Yeah.
Right. 2 weeks later, like praying, just finding myself writing stuff down, playing. So 2 weeks later, the jail offered a certification for $400. So I called my mom. I'm like, yo, look, I need $400 by this day right here. She's like, what? Da, 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 da. She send the money. Yeah, I mean, she go off on me. tell me all type of crazy stuff like, mother, what a mother gonna say when she spending her hard-earned money?
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
she
It's her
gonna
hard,
send.
but she gonna send it.
Mm.
You just gotta hear her out.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
gotta take it. So
Yeah.
I take it. She send the money, and the rest becomes like history with that part. But developing it in prison now, I had a guy on my unit 2 name was Jeff Hunt, and they was already studying it, but I really wasn't knowing it. I used to walk by him because I didn't know him. We never talked really like that. We'd say what's up and keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
one day I met another guy at a table, and they used to be there for like every day at this table. I used to see him. I walked by. One day I just stopped and like it's like God put on me like, man, yo, you gotta sit here. So I stopped. I'm like, yo, bro, I need to sit at this table.
Mm.
Like, I need to sit here. He's like, yo, we here every night, 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, bet. I'll be so from there. I start going there, studying with him. I start getting frustrated because I couldn't pronounce some of the words and stuff. They got these big words now. It's like, bro, I ain't with all this. Went to him, told him like, yo, bro, I think I'm about to just. He like, nah. He like, yo, listen, you can come to my room every day. I help you with the words. I help.
Mm-hmm.
So now I really start getting to the nitty gritty because I started learning more than just the personal trainer side, right? I started learning health and wellness, like the actual
Mm-hmm.
vitamins, minerals, diabetes, cancer, heart
Right.
disease, right? Whatever you cholesterol, whatever you name that's in the health world, I started learning. We started having doctor books come in from the colleges that we ordering. My mom used to get frustrated because she got to order a little book and it's costing $250 a used book, and she like, what the you gonna do with this stuff? And we're going back and forth. He ordering books. He got mad stuff, and he already was down like 15 years. So, and then in that process, I see him get his 70-something-year-old mom off all her medications
Wow.
from prison. You know what I mean? Tell her what to do. She's sending up her blood work, so we reading blood work. He taught us how to read blood work, like what the numbers should be, how this should be there, right? What we should be how we should be having people go back and talk to their doctors. Because he said something to me. He said, "Yo, you gotta think about it. How many people are there right now, trainers, right? How many people been trainers out there right now, and you've been in here? I mean, you go home, it's gonna be 10.5 years. How many people been a trainer? You gotta be more than a trainer."
Mm.
And that all
Mm.
stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So he started having me doing like presentations every week, like on high blood pressure. You got to get up there, no notes, no nothing, right? You got to break down high blood pressure, what it is, what it does, what's the effects, what type of medication the doctor's gonna give you, what's the effects of the medication, what they gonna cause, what other side effects they gonna have, right? What's going else gonna drive into the body, breaking all this down. Then
Mm-hmm.
what would you recommend to them to go back and talk to their doctor about doing? So it
Mm.
was brutal. It was like college now. Now it's like me preparing to be that college student, right? That I never was, because one of the other older guys, he thought I was older than what I was, because now I used to get up 5 in the morning. I'm at the door waiting to go out because we would make it to the gym by 6 o'clock, and you got to be down there fast. So I got a book in my hand every morning, reading it before the door bus for us to go out. So the older guy one day like, yo, how old are you, bro? Because everybody following you, even the ones that don't listen in this joint, they follow and listen to you.
Mm.
So you had to be somebody on the streets. You had to know exactly how old. So at the time, I'm like, yo, I'm 28. You're like, you kidding me? Like, bro, I'm 28 years old, bro. He's like, what? He said, bro, listen. He said, I'm telling you this. He said, I got a lot. He said, when I go home, only my goal is just to take care of my grandkids. My daughters and them grown, my sons and them grown. He said, bro, I'll be almost 70. I've been here 30-something years.
Wow.
He said, yo, let me tell you this. He said, if you make jail your yell, you'll never come back to prison. So I'm like, I had to ask him again, like, what you say to me earlier? He said, yo, if you make jail your yell, I wrote it on a piece of paper. He said, if you make jail your yell, you won't come back to prison. So I'm like, what you
Mm.
mean by that, man? Yale is one of the top, colleges, the prestigious college,
Mm-hmm.
one of the top ones, man. He said, so if you treat this like that, he said, because you're never going to get a free education like this again. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I just buckled down, and then for my I stayed at Fort Dix for 7 more years. So for my next 7 years, I studied 13, 14 hours a day. I was at that table every day at 7 o'clock, and we had 365 people in our unit, and only four people studied at that table. Only
Wow.
four people out
Wow.
of 365 people in the unit. I
Wow.
just started wanting something more. I just started wanting something, and then I started focusing on like what's next, right? I know I don't want to come back here. It's too many men. I don't like it, right? I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I can't
Yeah.
eat when I want. I can't go to the microwave. I can't go to the refrigerator when I want. I can't
Yeah.
certain thing I can't do. And then I'm in the room with all these men. I don't need a bunkie. I'm in a bunk bed, At the age I'm in the bunk bed, I got a bunkie sleeping on top of me. You know what I mean? Though we become
Mhm.
cool, we do all that, but I'm just this ain't for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I need to get this together when I go home. So they used to already call us Chizel on the compound from working out because we made a big name. They used to call us Chizel on the compound. So
Mm-hmm.
in the library, me and my mans and them stuff, we in the library. So I'm like, bro, I gotta what do you call this when I go home, bro? Because I'm doing this, bro, when I go home. So I'm writing stuff down. I got mad little stick pictures drawn up. Guys looking like this over here. We coming up with names. The one guy like, yo, he's like, bro, why don't you name it Team Chisel? I'm like, he like, they already call us Chisel. Why don't you name it Team? Because you like helping people.
Mm.
You like helping people. He said, everything you talk about, it be team. If we do this, we're
Mm.
gonna be like this, y'all. If this happen, we're gonna be like, he's like, everything you talk about is a team movement.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? And that's how Team Chisel was created. That's how it got formed inside of prison at my darkest times of God shining His light on me, healing me, right, bringing something out of me that I never knew was there. It helped me find a purpose, not just something to do, and that's what it really became. Because it's today is more than money, right? Because I
Yeah.
don't what I but it's coming. God is doing what He do because it's a purpose. So I enjoy doing it every single day and never feel like I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy changing people's
Wow.
lives. What I did inside prison, I'm doing on the streets. I help people get off medication in prison. I'm doing it on the streets, right? I'm motivating, I'm inspiring other people. A guy called me 2 weeks ago and he like, bro, I just want to thank you. And he like 50. So he older than me. We was all in prison together. He from Virginia. He like, said, I really don't, he said, you really don't understand how much you helped all of us be out here today. He said,
Wow.
if it wasn't for you, but what we was doing there, bro, a lot of us would be back in prison. He's
Wow.
like, yo, I don't think you even look at it that way or understand it. He said, bro, I just want to tell you, bro, you the reason why a lot of us still home today. You know
Wow.
what I mean? So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, appreciate it, but I'm like, I don't know, God. I'm like, you gotta thank God because I don't know. That wasn't my
Yeah.
work. But you know,
Wow.
even now doing it on this, being out here though, and walking out of prison and starting it in my mom's living room with my sister and my cousin, like in her dining room with my sister and my
Yeah.
cousin. My mom went and bought me all these little weight equipments, like coming home, little that stuff, and started training my sister in my mom's living room and just started posting them on social media. Ended up getting one client. I was charging $15 to go train somebody, right? $15. Wow, what's that? Right? $15 to go train somebody. So it's like I was loving it. It wasn't even about the money because I'm like, don't chase the money no more because the money, me chasing the money put me in a situation I didn't want to be in. So like,
Yeah.
don't chase the money no more, right? Chase the purpose because
Facts.
there's got to be the purpose because I love it. I'm like, it's helping. So
Yeah.
I get in that door, I accept the job for like $8.30 at a doggone gym in Princeton. It's closed down now. It was New York Sports Club in Princeton at the time, off of Harrison Street behind the complex over there. And they paid me $8.30 an hour, and I had to build up and get clients to get paid more. But me, it was like the experiences, right? I need to learn. I need to be
Yeah.
around this stuff, right? So did that for a second. Then end up getting hired at Jersey Strong in Robbinsville over there, worked there for some time. I ended up really like probably like 6, 7, 8 months, but none of that fitted with what was my ideal of how I wanted to interact with clients.
Yeah.
Because now on their time, that means I got 30-minute block to train you and just let you walk off. We can't really talk too much like that. But I was building something in the clients there, and they was like, "Yo, this is like my therapy when I come see you. I talk to you, da da da. We get to this. You telling me this information. I'm giving them more than what the gym really supposed to give." And I'm like, this ain't a setting for me. And what really made me like walk off and like really go on my own, and I was doing this on my own at the same time of working them places. But what really made me like this ain't for me as I called out one day. I couldn't make the call out because my kid was sick. And when I would call him and tell the dude, he like, man, you pulled the card out. That don't mean nothing. I said, oh, that bro, I don't know where you from or what's going on with you. Ain't nothing more important than my kids, but no job, no nothing. None of that. I said, but you know what? Guess what? I quit. I said, I ain't coming back. So on the phone, I said, yo, I ain't coming back. Hung up. I ain't coming back there. Like, so I just went on and just believed in God and just like, yo, I'm gonna do my own thing. So
Yeah.
just started training in parks. Like I was training in parks, left and right.
Yeah.
Had major falls. Went to one gym. COVID hit. I was building up real good. I was out Hamilton. COVID hit, knocked me back down. Boom. Trying to figure it out
Mm-hmm.
again. Go back to the parks. Go to my man. His house. He had a garage attached. He's like, bro, you can just use my garage. I don't use it. turned his little garage into my gym.
Wow.
Right? Used that, trained my man, then found another spot. Went another spot, asked the guy who was leasing the building out, like, yo, you sure this could happen here? This, that, everything cool. He like, yeah, same thing. I was there for 6 months. Inspectors coming, like, we gotta close the building down.
Wow.
What? I just put all this money into this, all my money, my savings. I'm using my savings to do this. You
Mhm.
know what I accumulated from working jobs and just saving money. And I'm using my savings. Nobody giving me nothing. Nobody. It's all my savings money.
Mhm.
So I'm just praying and praying. I'm like, what I do? So now my clients follow me to the track. One thing I love about my client, they my family. I call them my family, right?
Mm.
Because everywhere I went, they never complained. When I went to the tracks, they followed me to the tracks. When I had to go to the park, they followed me to the parks,
Mm.
right? They was so in tune to what I was doing and believing in
Yeah.
me. They
Yeah.
was believing in me, right? Because I helped them so much. They was believing in me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
praying. The building I'm at now in the Quick Check complex, right? 2695 South Broad Street in the Quick Check complex. One day the realtor was helping me because somebody introduced her. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna help you just because I heard what happened, blah, blah, blah. Helping, but I rolled by there and saw that place over there. I went in the parking lot. I sat in front. I just was praying. I'm like, yeah, this gonna be mine. Went looked in there. So one day the realtor get us the chance to go look at it. Look at it. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk back to the guy. You like? I'm like, yeah, it's cool, nice space, nice size. Probably just gotta knock this wall down to make it full open. So I go there one day again, sit there, the door open. A guy in there cleaning the outside and inside, cleaning up. And I said, yo, you just got this? He's like, no, I'm the maintenance guy of about to, cleaning up. So I said, oh, can I come in? Look, I come in. He let me come in. I went, I prayed in there, just walked around looking, sat in the car. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this, man. I just like I pray they don't come crazy because I went to another spot. The lady had me. They're like, yeah, you can get it, but your rent gonna be this much, but it's going to basically double in 2 years. I'm like, bro, how am I gonna know if I'm gonna be making that money?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. How come if you telling me it's gonna be 2,000? Okay, I'm saying I'm cool, but you saying 4,000, and I said, bro, I can't say I could jump that high.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yeah.
go up small, you ain't go nothing. The lady said, which one? I said, I can't take that. I said, so I'm just praying, go there another day, pray. She put the paperwork in for that building where I'm at now. And she called me like 2 days later, like, hey, I got some good news. I'm gonna send you over the lease to what they saying in the lease. And she sent it back. She's like, these are the numbers they talking about. Your rent will go up in 3 years. It'll only go up to extra $75, depending on thing. I'm like, oh, I'm like, this gotta be God. So she's
Yeah.
like, what you think? I'm like, listen, the building look cool, man. Just tell her I take it. Just tell her I take it. And I ain't about to sit
Wow.
here. And so that's where I'm at today. So that's the breakdown of Team Chisel, man, and how we here doing what we doing today in the community. And I just so love it, man. And God has made this more than just a job, made this more than
Mhm.
just a career, made it a purpose. He
Yes.
made something to help change other people. And like he say in his word and believe, help others and he'll do right by you.
Mhm.
Mm,
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for
yeah,
sharing that dynamic experience, Dante. Like, it's so much in there, so much perseverance. Real quick. So your pivotal moment you pivoted was when you were reading the hood books that was
yes,
pretty much telling you your life.
yes,
And it was like, I'm not learning anything new. Like, God, the next book I read, I want to learn something. That
yes,
was and I think seeing your kids and your mom
yes.
in
Those,
prison, right?
that was the crucial ones right there. That was a
Yeah,
real hard one. That was the ones where it's like, okay, you got to tighten up. You got to get it together. You know what I mean?
that's
Them,
incredible.
them was the ones though. Cause
Yeah.
then it was more like it wasn't for me, and then it was more of I used to hear my dad in my head, not just about the wrong, but about the good. He used to always tell me,
Mm.
right? So I started focusing on all the positive he was saying to me from a young kid growing up to this and that. Like you could do all this stuff, you could be this, you could do that, da, da, da. And now it's starting to play back. The recorder is back, right? It's lifting me up, and I'm like, yo, I just want to make him proud. That
Yeah.
way, he's smiling down, right? He's my angel. So I'm like, I just want to make them proud. And like now, when people see me, and my dad was a great guy, so he had a lot of friends. Like he was real great, right? Great, nice, helping guy. And everybody when they see me, like, oh man, your daddy be so proud of you. Oh man, your daddy be, you know what I mean? So that's really
Yes.
like that's
Yes.
my motive to keep going.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What I love, first of all, my condolences for your father's
Thank you,
passing.
thank you.
And as you know, he's still with you, and I
Yeah,
know that he is so proud.
yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
know that. What I love is you were in an environment where you were helping people work their body, but you were also counseling them.
Yeah,
Like, what a rich environment to be in where your clients are prisoners like you, and
yeah.
you're able to inspire them to think differently. Talk about how you concluded that you had to change your thoughts in order to change your life. How did you come to that
The
realization?
books I was reading, the books, man. Another one was like Eckhart Tolle, right? The Power of Now, right? There's some
Yes,
living in the now. Like it ain't about your tomorrow. It ain't about 30 minutes from now. It ain't about, you know what I mean? It's like what's going on right now with you, right? How you want to be, how you want to feel, how you want to do right now,
yes,
basically. I mean, so that them right there just shaped me. And it's like, I know I'm greater than this. I know God ain't put me here just to be this, right?
yeah,
Just for this to be my story, right? So I'm like, nah, I gotta lock in. So a lot of reading, man, like James Allen, right? As a Man Think of, right? The books I started really like soaking up and like rereading them, re-reading them, right?
yes.
Over and over again, and just letting them take me, right? My
Mhm.
spiritual books, know that I've read too, but just them like was like some of my main books right there. Them three like was like, and then Think and Grow Rich became like one of my awesome classics. Just how you can manifest certain things, like writing things down, right? The thought process of the way you think is the way your life is, right? Like
Mm,
shape your own life through your thoughts, and we never know that. I never looked at that until I started actually reading, right? Reading books, things like that, and just educate myself not just on that part, but actually on learning myself. So actually reading history, Black history, learning who I am as a Black person, not my name. My mom and them named me that, but who I am. Who am I?
mm,
King,
mm.
right? Powerful, right? Strong, right? Successful, right? Greatness. Like so, just knowing who I am, just as that Black person, as that king, right? The one that they always say is nothing. So understanding my history, where I come from, and what it stands for to be Black, right? That a lot of people don't understand. So once I start grabbing that and understand that I am a king, that I'm powerful, that I can control my destiny, even though I have ups and downs, slips and falls like a human, but knowing I can get back on track, right, and be that king that God made me to be.
I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the things that you told me that is so powerful is when you came out of prison and you had to change mindset and you had decided you were going to continue being a personal trainer. You told your friends, if I
Mhm.
call you for supply,
Yeah,
if I call you to sell drugs, tell me no.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
love
that was like a strong pivot, like having to put a stamp down because life was happening, and I dibbled a couple times trying, but it ain't sit well with me. It was
yeah,
like this ain't me no more. This ain't.
yeah,
So when I did it, whatever, took them back the money and stuff like that. I'm like, look, bro, if I call you again, like it's saying I need, but just tell me no, bro. Just like nah,
yeah,
bro. Stick to what you're doing. Just tell me nah. Feel me? I ain't gonna look at you different. It ain't gonna change what we got going on. Just tell me no, bro. Just tell me no. And that's what I did because it was more for me, like, and just to let them know because they respect what I do. It's not nothing.
yes,
They wasn't forcing nothing on me. They don't come to me and ask me nothing. You know what I mean? Do you want to do none of that? So it's just a respect. But if I come, they're going right. They're gonna give
yes,
me because I'm coming.
yes.
Like, bro, just if I do come, just be
Tell
like,
me,
nah. Don't look at it as you turning me down. Just like, nah, bro. Stick to what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? So that was like another movement of I think of God speaking to me and me embracing that. Even in storms, God is working. Me
mm,
embracing that and just looking at what I'm going through different now from that
mm,
different perspective and not saying the problem is there, looking outside that problem,
yes,
even though that problem might be there, but it's like I'm looking outside that problem to now be greater at what I'm doing. You know
mhm.
what I mean? So I think that's the whole thing for me. And I think that's what's keeping me going today. It's knowing that in every storm God is working. So I go back to the Bibles and I see how he pulled everybody out of a storm, right?
Mhm.
Through all
Yeah.
his books, right? And just even getting eaten by the fish, right? And then spit back up, right? Them is storms, right? Even Daniel and them, right? Them storms, right? All the hard times that the Bible shows us, but shows how God was working. Even when we thought it was over, He showed something different, right? So
So
that's
Dante, put a plug in. Put a plug in for your gym. Tell us about your gym, where you're
oh,
located.
okay, yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
Team
let us
Chizel,
know.
Team Chizel. So we do one-on-one training, online training, in person, group training. Group training is one of my best things. Is group training, right? We do youth development training. We located 2695 South Broad Street. Phone number is 609-510-0235. Website is www.gochizel.com. You also catch us on Instagram at team underscore chisel with the Z, Chizel underscore LLC. I'm also on Facebook as Dontae Thomas, and then our business page is Team Chisel, TikTok, Team Chisel. We're building up our YouTube now, so we're about to really fix that up and get it going. It's Team Chisel. Everything else is Team Chisel. You can find us Twitter, everything. So that's where you can find us at, man. Like I said, we're in the Trenton area, Mercer County areas. If you're anything local, close by, 15, 20, 30 minutes out, we the place you want to be at.
I love it.
It's,
I
uh,
love it. I love it. And my son actually goes.
yes, Jonathan, my boy. Yes, that's
Yeah.
my boy.
Yeah.
So,
And so I just wanted to share real quick, y'all. One of the reasons, because I actually met Dante prior to hiring
yeah.
him as a personal trainer for my son. But what I wanted for my son was a high vibrational place,
Hmm.
right? That would not be body shaming, that would be positive. He wouldn't be exposed to anything negative. And just knowing Dante, it is that and a bag of chips or a bag of fruit.
Bag of fruit, right?
When I pick him up, he's sweating from
Yeah.
exercising, but has a huge smile on his face. And so it's a whole vibe. It's more than just working the body out. You do get that positive reinforcement, you get that counseling, you get nutritional
Yes.
advice. It's a whole vibe, y'all. It's beautiful. And I respect your journey. I respect
Thank
your journey, and I love that you kept the name that was given to you in prison, because it was given to you out of respect,
you. Hmm.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Uh, and so I just love what you've done. This is powerful. This is powerful, y'all. This is powerful. This is just as powerful as a near-death experience where you
Yes.
have somebody that was on a path and decided to change and make change for himself and others. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to tell us before we close out?
Yes, first, thank you, Loretta. Appreciate this. This was definitely wonderful. The blessing, man. I just want to tell people, man, just each day, man, God bless you with another opportunity. Just work to be the best version of yourself. No matter your problems, no matter your situations, you can overcome them. You just gotta believe it. Just believe it. Believe in yourself. Believe in your higher power, and just don't listen to nobody else. Don't worry about nobody else saying. Don't worry about nobody tell you what you can do, why you shouldn't do it. If you feel in your heart that's what you want to do, go out there and do it. And my favorite line I like to tell people: jump, because you don't know what tomorrow gonna bring anyway.
Mm,
So why not jump?
okay. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. So Dante, I have quick closing remarks for you, and then I'm gonna let you go. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. So I'm gonna close out with this. Dante, one of the most life-changing and well-read books within the spiritual community are the books called Conversations with God. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I heard of. I gotta get that.
Yeah, it's three of them.
Three
They're
of 'em.
They're
conversation.
by Neil Donald Walsh. But the books are so impactful that they inspired a movie starring the author himself, Neil. That's how powerful these books are. But what is astounding, Dante, is that the author who wrote the books, he did it in his darkest moments.
Mm,
He was homeless. He was frustrated. He had been divorced 3 times, and he just pulled out this legal pad and wrote this angry letter to God, asking him all kind of questions about his life. Why is my life like this? Why can't I get it together? Why am I poor? Why don't I have a home?
mm,
Uh, and he wrote these questions down and put the pen down and heard a voice on his right shoulder that said, "Do you really want an answer to all these questions, or are you just venting?"
ooh,
And as all conversations with God readers know, so began the dictation of arguably the most profound dialogue in our time, right? But it was in his darkest hour. And
mm,
in the same way, you, Dante, in your darkest hour, facing 10 years of incarceration, was able to see beyond your set of circumstances and understand that your station in life at that time was not who you were. It was not a reflection of who you are. You were able to tap into the part of yourself that is beyond space and time, to have vision beyond the four walls that could never have encapsulated you. And
mm,
like Neil, you decided to trust God and therefore trust yourself and manifest impact that not even you can completely grasp. The lives that you have touched and continue to reach go on and on like a ripple in a pond that grows and grows until its influence is impossible to measure.
mm,
It is not within our most comfortable moments in life that we acquire the growth needed to become blessings to ourselves and others. It's not when everything is all good. Quite the contrary, it is within the deep grunts of struggle and heaviness of despair that we acquire the wisdom and compassion to light the way. When I first met you, Dante, we were speaking at a spiritual event
yeah.
together. Shout out to Charlotte James.
Charlotte, Charlotte.
And after it was your turn to speak, the energy of your speech was so impactful that the room fell silent. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this man is powerful. This man is powerful. And I couldn't understand why. I couldn't completely understand it. But it came to me later that the power of your presence is so evident because you carry the energy of the solution.
Mm,
You have been through the dark night of the soul and have emerged with the brilliance of the sun. So thank you for being here with us on
you're
this
welcome.
planet at this time. Your talents, your love, your experience, and your specific ray of light is essential to the advancement and growth of us all. Thank you for deciding to pivot from the path that you were on in that quiet moment of now that you were in. The entire collective is benefiting from that divine decision. And as today's lesson states, You are spirit. You are spirit. I see God in you, brother. I
Thank you.
do.
Thank
And
you.
I
Thank
bow
you.
to you. I,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes,
Thank you. Thank
yes,
you. Thank you. I
yes.
appreciate that. It's good hearing that. Thank you.
And Dante, we end with the heart. You got to be corny and give us a heart.
Yeah, that's fine. I hope I do it good
Oh,
enough.
that's the bit. There you go, bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope I do it good enough.
Thank
Yeah,
you for throwing that heart up. Yes,
definitely, definitely, definitely,
yes,
definitely.
we do with a heart. And I just thank everybody who's been rocking with Dante and I and
Yes,
heard his impactful story. And I encourage everyone who has had a spiritually transformative experience that changed your life. You don't have to have had a near death experience in order to have a powerful experience to reach out to me. I'm taking all powerful experiencers on this platform. It's time for us to share our journey. So, have a beautiful day. Thank
thank
you
you
for
too.
joining the show. And until next time,
See you.
talk to
Have a
you
good one.
later. Okay,
Thank
you too. All right.
you. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye bye.
Bye.